up, everybody? Welcome back. I know it's been a while since my last video, like a long time, a little over a year, but I had some, whenever I was really starting to get into making videos about my wife's expedition and everything, my father ended up getting real sick. He ended up passing away. So that kind of took the steam out of everything that I was doing. And then, all the COVID crap happened. And, it was a bad year, okay? It wasn't a fun year. I ended up getting sick with some kind of stomach issue for, a good almost 5-6 months. And then that finally cleared up. And even after going to the gastrologist and everything. But I'm back, and this is what I'm doing today. This is my 2019, which I just got last year, actually. I traded in my 08 FX2, my red one, for this right here. This is 2019 F-150 Lariat. It is the 501 package. That's why you see the aftermarket lenses on here. I didn't get the LED headlights and tail lights, and I don't have navigation. I think that's some of the biggest things between the 501 and the 502 packages. So I ended up picking up these guys right here. It's just a Spec-D tuning DRL switchbacks, where it comes with the DRL and their switchbacks. So they're white while driving. You have to go in through ForeScan to do that and change to your parking lights as your running lights, and then that'll make your DRL light up when you're driving. And then whenever you go to turn, it goes yellow and it starts out. You got 3 different features, so that's pretty cool. I wanted to be different. I went with this brand. They're not a no-name brand, but they're not a high-end like Morimoto or Alpha Rex or VLAN. So I wanted to give these guys a try, but they ended up coming with Halogen H7 bulbs, and a lot of these aftermarket housings, from what I've read, come with H7 bulbs. So I didn't like that. I ended up ordering some LED bulbs, and they just they are not bright at all, okay? So I've already switched I've already got LED housings down here for the fog lights, which are way brighter than the headlights. So most of the light I get at night are from my fog lights. So I ended up, I'm going to take those LED bulbs out, and I ended up getting this set right here from the Retrofit Source. Say that 3 times fast. But these are from Xenon Depot. These are extreme HIDs. From what they said, they're one of their newer kits that they offer, but they perform pretty dang good. And they're more, I guess this is what you call one of the premium sets. I've always bought HID kits off of eBay and Amazon, cheap ones, 40, 50, 60 bucks. And they last, but end up having ballast problems, lights go out, whatever. The main difference that I found were these two separate relays per bulb. So I know the cheap sets that I've always bought usually only come with 1 relay for both bulbs. But here is the H7. I went with the 5000K color, and here are the 35 watt ballast. I didn't want to go with the 55 because they said when you get into these higher end, everything I read, I could be wrong, but from everything I read, they said the 55 watts on the premiums, when it's true 55 watts, they're just way too bright for normal driving. Like a lot of the 55 watts recommended for off-road. So I'm quite fine probably with just the 35 watts. But, yep. So, all right, let me get these headlights out, and we'll get this started. Before I forget, man, if you guys work on trucks and cars and whatever else, something that is, you're working with bolts and everything, man, pick one of these up. This thing is awesome. And these little batteries right here, they hold charge pretty dang good, and then they charge up in no time at all. So I've actually got 4 batteries because I bought this for the M12, and I also bought the drill and driver in the M12, and I also bought a Dremel style Milwaukee. So I've got tons of batteries, but man, I'm telling you right now, guys, this will save you a lot of time and ease getting into places that you might not be able to get to, and you got to use a bunch of extensions. But if you can, pick one of these up. You'll thank me later. All right, here is the H7 HID bulb installed in the headlight housing. Now you see I've got all these wires coming through the dust cover now. Originally, mine just had these two wires coming through the dust cover. Most vehicles are just going to have a dust cover. They're not going to have wires coming through. But this one, since I have a DRL strip on it, they added this little button up here that changes the way the amber light flashes, okay? One is if you click it one time, it'll start up here and work its way all the way around when you hit your flasher. Two is it flashes all at one time, okay? Then the third time is it starts out on each corner and works its way up here. So you can change that with this little button up here, and these two little wires ran through my dust cover. So if you don't have that, all you're going to have to do is you're going to have to cut a hole in your dust cover for the new rubber grommet that comes with the HID kit. Granted, most HID kits should come with this little rubber grommet to go through your dust cover. So you kind of need that because look at all the wires that are coming out of here now. All right, and then all I'm going to do, I didn't want to put these wires back through the dust cover, so I just kind of ran them to the side. It's not going to be sitting up top, so if it gets water right here, it should not kind of squeeze in. It's going to be on the side, so water should still run out. And it's still, this thing is on here snug, so I'm not really going to worry about these two wires and everything. But yeah, there's that. And then I moved the LED bulb into my high beam, so it's in here now. So there it is, yay. But yeah, this side's going to be a little bit more tricky. I get a little bit into it and I forget to grab my phone and hit record sometimes. But I've already installed this side and I've already tested it. It works. Everything fires up. There's tons of room behind this headlight right here, okay? There is a bracket that goes on the left side. That's where I mounted the ballast. I was able to put some screws into it, and then I also zip tied it. And so it's on that bracket secured right behind this headlight. Like I said, you've got tons of room back here. And then I mounted the relay right here. Ran the wire. The wire goes underneath my little radiator reservoir right here. And it runs over there and then connects to the positive on the battery. And my fuse is easily accessible right there. So there's the relay. This side's already on. So like I said, I apologize. I get a little bit too much into it. And then I forget to grab my phone, and then I do it and I'm done. I'm like, oh crap. So, but here's this side. This side's probably gonna be a little bit more difficult. I'll make sure to take pictures of, or I'll start the video again whenever I get everything mounted. But I'm probably gonna have to mount the ballast and the relay up here at the top and just run the wires down here because there's nothing, there's a bracket right here, but I mean, you can see it's kind of flimsy. I just don't want it to be on something that's going to vibrate all the time. And I think the headlight itself might hit right here. So, and it's just, there's just not a lot over here. So I think the best option is going to be right here. But all right, let me get to it. All right, well, seems I told you guys half the truth. Ended up mounting the ballast under here, okay? And the relay up here. There wasn't enough room right here, honestly. I could have removed the battery and put the ballast right there, but then it would have been awfully close to touching the battery. I wanted to stay away from the battery. So I came down a little ways on the support frame, or support right here, whatever this is, of the frame, and put a little screw, mounted the relay right here, and I was able to run the wires down here between the reservoir, my windshield washing reservoir, and the support. And they come out right here and plug into the ballast, okay? The ballast, what I did is took this little bolt out, and I had an L bracket, and I just used whatever I had here. I straightened the L bracket out with a hammer. So I got it straight, and I was able to screw in one side of the ballast onto that piece of metal, and I put the zip tie, and I also use that 3M double-sided backing, so it ain't going anywhere. It's sturdy. Well, I had it sitting straight, and I test fitted the headlight, and the headlight was hitting it. So all I had to do was just loosen that bolt up and shift this thing up that way, so now it's up back there. Now, the other thing is also, you've got to stay within probably 12 inches from the relay to the ballast, because the relay gives power to the ballast, and these two plugs have to plug in. I was thinking about putting the ballast right down here, but that would have made it kind of a long shot to reach the relay up here and the ballast down here and not interfere with the headlight, because the headlight is literally right up against this right here, and it butts up against this right here. Okay, so now I've got that out of the way. I've got this right here, and then I've got my other plug right here that plugs into the actual headlight that's in the headlight housing. So now I'm just going to kind of secure all these guys up here and wire up the relay up here with the other relay, and you've already got a little terminal right here. You just undo that and put that wire on there and you're good to go. And I'll probably put my ground on this grounding lug right here. So, all right, let me do that and hopefully finish this thing up. All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap up this the install portion of this video. I went ahead and I tested everything, and no blown fuses and no sparks. So I guess we can count that as a win, and everything seems to be working like it's supposed to. This is what you're looking at now behind your headlight. These are the added 4 wires coming from your HID bulb, and then your wiring harness is still here, and it plugs up just the same. One thing I do recommend before I drop my headlight here is this little cube right here. I don't know what's in it. I don't know if it's some kind of resistor or transformer or something, but it comes out of the ballast, and then it's what actually plugs into your lights connections. Okay, so try to make sure to secure this somewhere, because this little guy's got it's got some weight to it. And if you just leave it hanging in here, it's going to be banging around and beating on everything, and you can possibly pull your wires out of your HID bulb. So that's not something you want to do. So if you've got the same truck I've got, you should have the wiring harness right here for your lights. Just throw some zip ties on it and secure it right there, and it's out of the way of your headlight whenever it comes in here. So let me put this up here and I'll show y'all. Hold on. Maybe. There we go. All right. The other thing too, it'd be kind of nice if they made a passenger side wiring harness and a driver's side wiring harness. Maybe some companies do, you know, I don't know. But it's not that big a deal, but you've got quite a bit extra wire, okay, on the negative and the positive for your passenger side kit. Okay, so what I did is just zip tied all the extra wire right here and used this ground terminal right here. So that's where the ground went to, and then the positive comes up over here, and then it pretty much just zip ties right to the other set of the other positive for the driver's side HID kit, which its fuse is right here. And then here's all the extra wire, and I just zip tied everything right here. And then here's the fuse for the passenger side kit, and then both of them just come right up here. Pull your red cover off, gives you access to this little bolt right here, this little nut. Take the nut off, put your 2 terminals on, and screw it back down. You're good to go. You got power. So all in all, it was, you know, I've done HID kits before, so I knew kind of where I was going. I had to figure out where I was mounting everything, and that's the only thing you pretty much got to figure out is where you're mounting it and how you're running your wires, and try to make it look as neat as possible, or however you know. I try to keep everything as neat as possible, but I mean, there's only so much you can do here. The other thing too, if you are not familiar with HIDs and you install your HID kit and you go to turn them on, you are going to be looking at about a minute of warm up on your bulbs, okay? This one, when I first turned it on earlier, it came out as a yellow color, okay? Sat there, ran for about a minute to 2 minutes, then it came to its true color. It was probably started out about 4K and ended up closer to that 5K mark. And then when I turned on this side, it came on, it was more on the yellow side, but after it ran for about a minute, that gas mixed up and heated up, and it turned towards its blue color also. So there is a warm-up process in HIDs. All right, so being that it is still daylight out right now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I can go ahead, we'll turn these on, and see, you can see how the light's getting brighter. Right now they're more on the blue side. Yep. But the gas is mixing. So 5K HID bulbs, and there they go. But on camera, my DRLs look blue, but to me right now they look more white. So that's them. And I will tell you right now, if you can see that cutoff line, you couldn't see that cutoff line before. In here, even, you know, middle of the day or whatever, you could not see that. So now I can see that. Now I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be a lot brighter at night. So I'm going to go ahead and time travel here and wait for it to get dark. All right, here we are, nighttime. I'm driving through my subdivision right now, and these lights really impressed me. I will say that. We've already gone out to dinner, and just driving down the road, I'm like, oh wow, way better than any LED bulb I have ever owned. And I mean, you can see the cut off on these things like nothing. I mean, you see that right where it comes up in front. Now it looks a lot brighter on this video than what it actually is. And here, I'm going to drive through a new construction area, and it is completely dark over here. And this will give you an idea. Okay, so here are my lows. Let me turn off my fog lights. Before, my fog lights were brighter than my low beams. Not the case anymore. That's what my fogs do now. All they do is add that little bit up close and wide. But I mean, you can see the cutoff on these things. Clear as day. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier when you're driving down the road, I will tell you that. All right, let me back up. All right. All right, let me get out. All right, and there you go. I mean, you can't really appreciate it in a video because the glare of the bulb. But here, while I'm here, I'll go ahead and let me turn off my lights, so that way I can show you my DRLs. Not bad for headlights that are about half the price of the big name brands. So yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. Let me turn back on and takes them a little bit to warm up. They're a little bit bluer when they first start up, and then they turn to that natural white color. So, all right, well, thank you everybody for checking the video out. I am going to be getting some new tail lights on here. I've done more stuff to this F-150 than I have to my wife's Expedition, simply because there's more options available for the F-150 than what there is the Expedition. And I mean, who knows, that might change, that might not. It depends on how long they keep that Expedition, that current gen going. If they keep it for a while, there's going to be a lot more aftermarket parts, but I don't know. I mean, the aftermarket parts for the F-150s for my gen is pretty much done now, because they've got the new 2021s out. So these are pretty much they're going to move on to the next gen. So I guess whatever's out on the F-150s for mine is pretty much done. But going to be getting some tail lights. I'm also thinking about getting some light bars for my grill, but not a traditional light bar. The bars I'm looking at are ultra slim light bars. They're made for the XLT, I guess, because the gap's a little bit wider in the middle between the two bars on that grill. But apparently you can make some brackets to make them fit on the Lariat, so I might end up doing that. Still wanting to do tow mirrors. And the big thing that I'm going to try to do on this, which I think would be a pretty crazy video, is get rid of this thing. I want my wife's Expedition's turn dial right here, because then that also opens up another compartment right here. And this thing kind of gets in the way, honestly, of this little storage compartment right here. I mean, you can see I just got trash in it right now, but so... And I'll probably end up changing a lot of these lights out to some more bright LEDs. So, but anyways, thank you everybody for checking out the video. Like I said, I'm going to try to be on, trying to put out some more stuff. And I'm also probably going to be installing this same HID kit in my wife's Expedition too. So look out for that video. And like always, hit that subscribe button, and thank you everybody for watching.